Hello everybody and welcome to Mark Goldbridge, That's Football, and we're live for Leicester against Brighton in Premier League, and hopefully we're going to see a Morpay masterclass again. Hopefully we will do. Unless you're a Leicester fan and you want Leicester to win, in which case you probably don't want to see Brighton winning. But we're live. I think we are on Hot Mic today as well. It should be working. It is working, which is great. I can see that. So jump on board. Feel the ride, because the kids are all right. Existence says, hope you and the family are well, mate. Thoughts on that disgraceful banner in the Man City game? We'll be talking about that, of course. And Brighton and Albion are playing a 4-2-2-2. Never seen that in my life, says Daniel Luciano. Well, I'll go through the team news for both of you now. Schmeichel, Justin, Evans, Sionku, and Chilwell as the back four for Leicester, of course. Same back four that drew with Watford. Ndidi, Mendy and Maddison as a midfield three. Tielemans dropping to the bench. And then you've got Damari Gray, Vardy and Iheanacho as the front three. Brighton, Ryan, Lamptey, Webster, Dunk and Byrne. Stevens, Bissomo, Moy and Alistair. Connolly and Morpay are the front two. So look, Leicester would be firm favourites to win this game. They're currently 4 points ahead of Chelsea in third place and 8 points ahead of Manchester United and Wolves. Probably not a game United and Wolves will be expecting Leicester to lose. I mean, Leicester do have some difficult games to come. They've got Watford to play, Everton to play, Arsenal to play, Spurs to play, Manchester United to play and Sheffield United to play. So there are points for Leicester to lose, definitely. And maybe today wouldn't have been one of those plays. I've just realised they've already played Watford and they drew. So they've dropped points against Watford, but so did United against Spurs. So can Brighton do... to be honest with you, I think if Brighton were to get a win today, that would put them on to 35 points. I don't see Brighton going down. I think Brighton are probably a win, maybe only... Brighton on 32 points. They're probably 2 wins away from safety, I would say. Unless the rest of the teams go on a mad one, which I don't necessarily think that they will. So, yeah, very interested to see how it's going to work in that sense. And if you want to try out Hot Mic, links in the video description. It's free on Apple and Android. You get a little bit of crowd noise on there. You get the same me on the screen. You get a live comments, but you can also sync up with however you're watching it. Once you're in there, click the sync button, which you can get by just pressing on my face on the app. Hold the app up to your TV that you're listening to. Turn the audio on for your TV. Press sync. It will listen to mine. It will listen to yours, and it will sync it in perfectly. Turn the audio off, and then you'll be getting it second for second when you're watching it on your app. And if you are watching it on your app, you can turn your phone off. Not literally. You can turn your screen off, and you can still hear it. So it works well in that way. But we are about to kick off here. I'm just about to start the timer on the screen as well. I'll be linking in with the Hot Mic live comments as well as the comments on this. They take the knee. Black Lives Matter, of course, is playing 22 times because it's on the back of every shirt. Yes, disgraceful what happened yesterday with the White Lives Matter banner. I mean, it just totally and utterly, on every single level, no matter, even if you tried to empathise with it, on every single level it's wrong because it just antagonises a situation that's not needed to be antagonistic. This is not meant to be about white and black. This is not what it's about. It's not about saying white lives don't matter. If you don't understand something, don't comment on it. I don't pretend to understand everything about it, but I certainly know it's not a matter of Black Lives Matter and white people don't. That's not what it's about. And it just turns it into white against black with some people, which is not going to ever change anything, isn't it? Because that's the problem. That is the problem. Anyway, we've got 153 people watching on Hot Mic, which is great. Thanks everyone who's trying it. And we're off for another game. I didn't watch Burnley Man City last night, which is why I didn't get to see live the bloody banner flying over. But Brighton, a free kick for them. I expect this to be a competitive game, but I just think that Leicester are quite good defensively, and I think Leicester have got the better quality. But look, I'll tell you what, I don't really want Brighton to stay up, but if they could get a win today and then lose to us next week, United, then I'm very happy. Brighton are in their green kit, says Sharon. Yep, they're going for the old FIFA glitch, aren't they, really? How are you, says Abdeen on the Hot Mic. I'm very good. Good evening to everyone on Hot Mic as well. Where are my Hot Mic brothers, says Bob Basher. Johnny Evans and all says great goals. And hi Mark, says Subham7. bit of a crap free kick there, straight into the wall from Brighton, but the cross isn't too bad. Back post, good header away by Chilwell. Scored a banging goal on Saturday lunchtime, Chilwell, didn't he? Thought he'd won it, and then Dawson with the late equaliser. But showing his defensive attributes there, which I don't think he's got too many of. We've got a super chat coming in from Ryan Curley. He says, do you reckon it's ridiculous that fans need to pay to watch MUTV, considering the club makes so much money as it is? I've always paid for MUTV, so I've never really thought of it like that. Is it ridiculous that you have to pay for it? I mean, I don't know. I mean, you have to play for Liverpool Fan TV, don't you? Cross comes in, Leicester clear it away. It's a choice, isn't it? What's on MUTV? Oh, lovely bit of skill there. Crap cross, though. Connolly. Early pressure here from Brighton, and Leicester win a free kick. So good early pressure there from Brighton. Good to see. Connolly with the shot that was a bit crap, but I think Leicester. I think the thing about Brighton is what I'll say about Brighton against Arsenal at the weekend. Very good win doesn't mean they're safe. They've got to play Liverpool, City, United, Leicester. I mean, I'll tell you who they've got to play, in fact. But their next few games are very difficult. Please subscribe to this channel if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. I'll have a look how we're doing in a minute in relation to subscribers. But currently, Brighton are 5 points off safety. So in a good position at the moment, Brighton. They're 5 points away from safety. But it's a bit like Chelsea being 5 points ahead of United. One loss and one win, and you're 2 points ahead. Brighton on the attack again. Good cross by Marpe. Good headed clear by their right back, Justin. Pereira's still out injured, of course. Yeah, so Brighton are 5 points away from safety at the moment, but they've got Leicester tonight. Then they've got Manchester United. Then they've got Norwich, which would be a massive game. Then they've got Liverpool and Manchester City, which you would expect them to lose both. So out of their next 4 games, I can see them losing 3. Southampton away, Newcastle at home, and Burnley. I mean, I do think Brighton have got the games to stay up, regardless of the result tonight. But they'd certainly be looking to get some points on the board tonight. Mark, Chelsea are 3 points off Leicester. I think you're wrong. I think you're right. You're right, actually. I've read it wrong. I thought Chelsea were on 50 points. So Chelsea are 3 points off Leicester. Of course they are, because 5 plus 3 is 8. United are 5 points behind Leicester, Chelsea, at 8 points behind Leicester. Well done. Your maths are better than mine. Artur to Juventus is I can't see that Juventus have got 72 million quid, so there must be something going on with Pjanic going the other way. There must be. Connolly hat-trick incoming, says Doubting Thomas. I think your name says that's a load of crap. And Brighton desperate to get the 1 goal and sit back the rest of the game, says Krista. I've played at the King Power. I'm probably boring people here, but I've played at the King Power. I played there a week after. It's like buses, isn't it? You wait hours for a bus, then 2 come across along at once. I actually sat on those away dugout seats that you can look on the right hand side. I was sat on them, and I ran on the pitch. But yes, I played at the King Power a week after I played at Old Trafford. So I just didn't really enjoy it that much, because Old Trafford is literally probably 2.5 times the size of the King Power, and I just spent most of the day going, this is crap compared to Old Trafford. But I'm sure a lot of people would like to play there. I'd like to play there. I'd probably be a bit more grateful this time. But Leicester on the ball at the moment. They go back to Johnny Evans. Good. Leicester are a good team. I've just got this feeling that they're not going to be a good team in the last few weeks of the season, but I may be totally wrong. Don't know what that was, but it's back with the keeper. Mark Lamptey played for Chelsea against Arsenal, says Killer. And you are never boring, Mark, says Marcus S. Thank you very much. And who won Arsenal versus Brighton? I can't remember. I can't remember what. I remember it was 1-1 into stoppage time, and then Morpace won it at the end. Still got it. I've still got it. We're 6 minutes in. Leicester starting to get a bit of possession at the moment, coming down the left-hand side. So they've changed their front 3 today. They've got Iheanacho, and I suppose they're probably playing a bit more of a 4-4-2, really, aren't they? Because they've got Damari Gray playing. I mean, Mendy's a good player for Leicester. And they've got a good bit of depth, Leicester. If you could sign any keeper for Man United, who would you sign, says Jack Stewart YouTube. Well, big shout out to Oblak. I think he's the first goalkeeper to get 100 clean sheets quickest. I think he's done it in under 200 games, which is ridiculous, isn't it? He averages a clean sheet every, as a striker, it's a good striking record to score a goal every 2 games. Bloody Oblak gets a clean sheet every 2 games. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. But on the Leicester bench today, they've got Chowdhury, Barnes, Perez, Albrighton, Tielemans. So he's changed 3 players from the weekend. But they've got a good bench, Leicester. Wes Morgan, Tielemans, Albrighton, Ward, Barnes, Perez, Chowdhury, Pratt, Fuchs. I mean, they're all, all the players. I mean, it's not it's not the depth of a Man City or anything like that, but they've got a good depth. And I'm surprised Perez isn't playing for them, really. Really am. Schmeichel catches it from the cross. And it's still 0-0. If you could sign any keep, I've done that from Jack Stewart. Thank you very much. And are you and the rest of the stand members got part of a fancy draft by any chance, says Jasper? No, I don't do it. Sign Morpay for your career mode if he's not retired, says Ewan. I'm on my last dance, Ewan, now. The last January transfer window's gone, so I can't do it, unfortunately. But we're 7 minutes in here. Leicester on the attack. Iheanacho. Now, I remember when people said that Iheanacho's better than Rashford when he was at City. They'll say anything. They'll say anything. Great podcast with Anthony Mark. Has he put it out? I'll have to retweet that. I didn't know he'd put it out yet. Morpay's won it at the end, says Joe Pete. And nearly got 200 people watching on Hot Mic. Give it a go. Give it a go. Links in the video description. It's free to try. It's an app. You can use it on your tablet as well, but it's an app. It's on Apple and Android. Download it. Use the invite code MARK363. You'll find That's Football on there. We're doing a live stream, much the same as YouTube. You get a bit of crowd noise as well as me talking. You get a live chat. And also you can sync in perfectly with your TV. So do that once you're in and you can see me on the screen. Turn the audio on your telly. Press my face. You'll see a sync button. Press sync. Hold your app towards your telly so it can pick up the commentary. Syncs it in. Turn your commentary off on your telly. And then when I'm saying Justin knocks a long ball down the line to Iheanacho, who nearly plays Vardy in, that's what you'll be seeing on there. So give it a go. Link in the video description. Mark, thoughts on that Burnley plane banner, says Andrew Chow. Well, we have spoken about it, Andrew. Suffice to say, I think it's just ridiculous. How the hell is Arthur worth 72 million, says Anfield Agenda. Nice to see him on the old app of Hot Mic. I don't know how he's... Well, I think Arthur probably is worth 70... I mean, does anybody think Arthur of Barcelona is worth 72 million? I'd probably think that he isn't. Even before lockdown, I don't think he's worth that. I think he's a 50 to 60 million pound player. That's what he is. So for him to go to 72 million in a lockdown, you wonder what's going on there. You really do, because it doesn't make any bloody sense to me that he's gone for that much. But it doesn't, and it also doesn't help United with Sancho, does it? Like, if Arthur's going for 72 million, Dortmund are going to go, well, we're not giving you Sancho for any less than like 90 now, are they? Maybe not 100. Hope someone breaks Morpy's legs, says Josh Kerr. Lovely comment from Josh. Wouldn't expect any better. And Mark, do you think Liverpool will beat Man City, says Jack Clive? When do they play? Is it a midweek game or is it a weekend game? Score predictions for this one, Mark, says Chris Connors. Yes, good point. What's your score predictions for this game? I'm going to say Leicester win 2-0. But I do hope Brighton get a result because it would be really useful for United. I thought you said more pace won it at the end, says Rohan. And Arthur isn't worth more than 60 million max, surely, says Ricardo Fidalgo. I'd go for 55 to 60 million, says Jacob Miller. And it's July the 2nd, says Anfield Agenda on Hot Mic for Liverpool against Man City. So it's going to be Liverpool are going to get a bit of a break then, aren't they? Because they're going to play tomorrow, which is the 24th. And then they don't play for another week because they won't be playing in the FA Cup because they're out. Out the FA Cup and out the Champions League. Lovely ball over the top here. And looked like a bit of a handball. And he's given a penalty. Penalty to Brighton. And he might. Will he? Is that a red card technically then? I don't understand the double jeopardy rules here. But we've got a penalty for Brighton. He'll VAR it. It didn't necessarily look like it was a penalty to me. But it's Morpay again. No, it's not. It's Connolly. I don't think it's going to be a penalty on review. Oh, it is. He doesn't get anything of the ball. I think it will be a penalty, and I don't think the referee... he might get away with it. Well, I think that's a penalty, I do. I think that's a penalty. I don't think that should be reviewed. He kicks out and he doesn't get the ball. That's a penalty for me. Yeah, it's a penalty. 100% penalty. No way is that not a penno. He's got to give it. Don't undermine the referee. What are they looking at? Penalty given then. Yeah, penalty given. Good decision here. Good decision. And it's Morpay. Morpay to step up here. Can he do it? Didn't even give a red card then because of this stupid double jeopardy rule. I don't get it. I don't get why it's not a red card. Morpay to step up and take it against Schmeichel. And he's missed it! He's bloody missed it! Oh, Morpay's missed it. I can't believe it. Big chance that. What a prat. What a prat. It was a crap penalty, to be honest. Oh. Absolutely no confidence in his own ability to take a penalty there, unfortunately. And Leicester are going to win it now, I would say. Yeah. What a prat. What an absolute prat. But Brighton have started off quite well. They are causing Leicester some problems. Now it's Iheanacho coming forward. I mean, why? Shocking penalty, to be honest, says existence. I thought it was a shocking penalty as well. What I was going to say is, why is it not a red card? I don't understand anymore. For me, I get sent off for that on FIFA all the time. Last man, tackle. But I think it's something about double jeopardy, isn't it? You can't have double jeopardy because he's had a chance, so you can't send him off. Schmeichel was well off the line before he hit the ball. Never understand why referees don't call keepers out on this, says Joshua Bowerwater. Never going to happen, is it? Mark, Morpay 0-0 within the space of 3 days. And hi Mark, how are you? Feeling confident for tomorrow's game, says Jordan Such. I am confident about Manchester United winning against Sheffield United tomorrow. Yes, I'm very confident. I think we will win. Yeah, I do. FIFA's a game, says Daniel Johnson. Is it? Is it? Oh God! Well, why is no one's ever told me FIFA's a game? I thought when I plugged my power on and turned it on and went through the menu and started playing with a controller, I thought it was real life. So when I'm scoring goals with Rashford, it doesn't go on his who scored stats. What? I just don't get this. I don't understand this. I always thought it was real. Oh well, you've ruined. Thanks for that, Daniel. You've ruined it now. You've took all the joy out of it. Hot Mike's going mad, saying Morpay's a prat, and Morpay has seen his video on That's Football, says Subham. He's a prat for missing that. But plenty of time left for him to turn it around. But definitely was a penalty. Wasn't a red card because you can't have double jeopardy. And I don't think he even got booked. But the penalty was saved by Schmeichel, and it wasn't that good. It wasn't that good at all. But they've got another free kick here, Brighton. they've been the better team in the first 16 minutes. Leicester looking very sluggish. I did predict this. Everyone was like, oh, Leicester are so brilliant. They're third in the league. They're so brilliant. And I just don't think that they are. I think they're vulnerable. And I think they can be got at. But they need to be got at. You've got to take your chances. More pay. Living off that bloody last-minute goal against Arsenal again, isn't he? Well, I'm not playing the clip anymore until you start scoring. So I went 2-0 to Leicester in this game. Could have been 1-0 Brighton in the first 15 minutes. Missed penalty. Ball over the top. Connolly fouled. Moy with the cross. Good header away by Johnny Evans. But Brighton have started off quite well in this game. They're a good footballing side, Brighton, to be honest. What was your score prediction for this game in Spurs West Ham, says Jordan Such? I went 2-0 Leicester for this one, Jordan. And I don't... You know what? I don't really care in the West Ham Spurs game because I'm not even doing a watch-along for it. I'm doing United Stand at 8 o'clock instead. Because... And the reason I'm doing that is because it's just not an interesting game. Spurs are not in a race for top four. Like, they're not. West Ham are in a relegation battle. I would agree with that. But it's just not a game that interests me much tonight, if I'm honest with you. I did think about it, but I'm doing United tomorrow, obviously at 6 o'clock. And then on Thursday, I'm going to do Arsenal-Southampton, followed by Man City-Chelsea. That's just what I'm going to do. That's just what I'm going to do. Yonko says, what are Barcelona thinking exchanging a 23-year-old Arthur for a 30-year-old Pjanic? Well, let's not forget they've bought terribly over the last while, Barcelona. They're just showing the penalty incident again. He'd have been off for that. He'd have been sent off and under the old rules. It's a crap. Tell you what, though, it's a crap penalty by Morpay. It really is bad. It's so close to the keeper, it's unreal. Terrible penalty. He's used all his power against Arsenal. Mark looks at the back of the shirt. No more Black Lives Matter on the shirts. Was that just for the first... I thought they were going to keep doing it. Brighton are going to have to make a substitution here. They've got an injury. We're going to see a lot of these injuries, aren't we? We're going to see a lot of these muscle injuries. What's your opinion on Dortmund signing Meunier, says Snopey Triple Z? And no, they only have a badge from now on, says Jester's Vengeance. Well, I think it was a good idea to do it. Of course it was a good idea to do it. It does make it a little bit easier. Oh dear. He's in a bit of trouble here. He's bleeding from his mouth here. I don't know what's happened. Brighton player. I think he's... I don't know what's happened to him, but... Oh dear. He's caught one in the face, I think. He's alright. He's moving about. I think he's just been caught in the mouth. But Brighton going through the wars a bit here. Missed penalty. 2 players injured. And we've only had 20 minutes gone. And the GOAT Messi says, Mark, as a Barcelona fan, Arthur is priceless. Hey Mark, did Johan Cruyff really play for United? No, the cracking. Jordi Cruyff played for him. So there's a Brighton player down at the moment. That's the noise you get on Hot Mic. Well, there's one substitution here going to be made. not kicked off yet. It's the water break. Don't you think players' prices will be cut due to Corona after what Juve have bid? We will be paying what Dortmund want for Sancho, or he ain't joining, says Sean Turner. I know. I think it's a bit stupid what Barcelona have and Juventus have done there. They've just inflated a market that shouldn't have been inflated, really. Who do you think was better, Pires or Ljungberg, says Existence? I mean, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I probably preferred Pires, but Arsenal fans would be a better place for me to have a look at. Hello to Queeksy, and mate, I'm not drawing attention to it. It's done, and it's done. And Liam Donnelly, it's done. Don't worry. Play Morpay's won it at the end, so Morpay can hear you and can score, says Rohan. And Mark, why do you have... Mark, any possible shout out on Hot Mic, says Ehab and Amori. Mate, if you want shout outs, I'd get a better name on your user profile, because it's very thin for me to read and it's hard to read, so I can't do it. Ishaq Mohammed, Mark Goldbridge. There's a photo on One Football of the racist banner that those Burnley fans flew over the Etihad Stadium. I know it's been in the news all day, mate. It's not breaking news. It's bad news, but everyone's aware of it. AFTV boys still think that they can reach the Champions League, says Snowpeak. Oh, they've got no chance. Absolutely no chance. I'm not doing a West Ham Tottenham watch along, Marvin. No, I'm doing 8 o'clock on the United stand, so 8:15. I'm not going to do a 15-minute United stand show. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new on YouTube. Let's give a YouTube shout out and see what we're at today. We're currently on... The game's up and running again now anyway, which is always a good thing. Can Leicester start to get some momentum in this game? We're on 165,800, so we're 200 subscribers away from 166,000. I'm sure we could do that today. Please share the video if you're watching on YouTube. There's a share button. You can share it on Twitter and Facebook. And subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right-hand corner. Daniel Luciano says, Brighton's actually looking pretty solid. Thanks for the super chat, Daniel. You know what's going to happen now. Jinx, Daniel. You're going to jinx it. And predictions on Villa's finish, says Quick. Is it Queeksy? I just think Villa lack quality. I think they're going to be in the relegation battle, unfortunately. Well, they're in it already. If you look at... I think Bournemouth are going down. I think Norwich are going down. I think the other team that's going down is going to be either Villa, Watford, West Ham, maybe Brighton. But Brighton's win against Arsenal really helps them. Daniel Luciano says, Brighton looks terrible. I mean, I think Brighton have been the better team so far. So I think Villa are probably the favourites to go down at the moment. I think Watford are too good to go down. Doesn't mean they won't, but I think they're too good to go down. West Ham, I think with Moyes, they'll battle their way out of it. And then Brighton have got 5 more points than Villa. So can Villa... I'm not sure Villa can get 5 points to even catch up with Brighton. So, in fact, Villa are 7 points behind Brighton at the moment if Brighton draw. So... I just think Villa are going down and Bournemouth are going down at the moment. It might not be an exciting relegation battle, but then again, it can change around very, very quickly, of course. Of course it can. Of course it can change very quickly. I was doing it because of the jinx, says Daniel Luciano. Yeah, if you want to give Hot Mic a try, the link's in the video description. It's on Apple and Android. It's a free app. You get a little bit... It's the same as YouTube, really. You get the same footage. You do get a live chat, which I can see both of. You get a bit of crowd noise, which you don't get on YouTube. And you can also, because it's an app, you can leave your phone and watch the game and just listen to your phone and put it on the ground or the floor, which is the ground, or your coffee table or whatever. And you can sync in as well. So... all you need to do is download the app, use the invite code Mark363. It's easy to do. Links are in the video description. Follow us on Mark Goldbridge. Come into the stream. You'll see a sync button. Make sure you've got the audio on your football commentary. Press the sync button. Make sure you've got the audio on your app. Hold it up to the TV so it can hear it. It'll do a green tick when it's synced. Turn the audio off your TV. And then my audio, when I'm talking about stuff, will be perfectly synced in with your TV. And it does it for all sorts of commentaries, whether it's Sky or whatever. And a good bit of play by Connolly there, and I think he's won a corner. He's been very lively, Connolly, for Brighton. Yeah, but it does Norwegian TV, beIN Sports, the lot. And basically what happens is when I say Connolly's just had a shot, you'll be seeing it happen on the screen. Imagine Morpay scores a winner versus United, says Ewan. I was thinking about that today, Ewan. I was actually thinking about that today. Arsenal fans would love it. It sounds like the TV commentators are also playing through the stadium speakers. Is that possible, says Daniel Luciano. And West Ham play Villa last game of the season. Could decide who goes down, says Jordan Such. Villa are going to have to win some games before that. Corner for Brighton, way too high. Burn gets up though, and it went out of play anyway. Not great by Leicester, is it? I mean, I don't know whether we've got any Leicester fans. I mean, Jamie Vardy's had one touch of the ball in 27 minutes, but I don't know whether we've got any Leicester fans. I'm sure we've got some people who want Leicester to win, but not very good today so far. Not very good at all. Which player that United have sold since Fergie do you think should have had more time, says BGG? There's loads. Raphael? There's loads, really. I mean, you could even argue that it would have been nice to keep Memphis Depay a bit longer, or Di Maria, but they didn't want to be here, did they? Mark, do you think Aubameyang will leave Arsenal? Says Existence. I do. I definitely do. I think that if Arsenal don't get... I mean, look, Arsenal will see it as a slight on them if Aubameyang goes, but I actually don't... What people don't think about with this is maybe Arsenal will want him to go because they'll pretend that they don't, but maybe they will just not offer him much money so he'll leave, because if they don't have Europa League football... All right, Aubameyang's probably going to say, I don't want to be here because there's no European football. But if Arsenal don't have Europa League football, they might be thinking, do we want to keep a 30-year-old or whatever age he is on massive wages when we're not going to be in Champions League anyway? And then even if we do get in it, he's a year older. Arsenal might look at a financial decision and say, let him go. They might. Free kick, foul. Apparently Bernd Leno's injury may not be as bad as first thought, but it's unlikely he'll play for the rest of the season. I'm just looking on Twitter there. That's good and bad news, obviously, but from Arsenal's point of view, I think they were thinking they might be missing him for the whole of the year. At least, you know, next season's a new start. Leicester on the attack. Good cross. Vardy gets up. Keeper's going to catch that. So Vardy's had another touch on the pitch anyway. Second touch. Let it go, let it go, I'm at one with the world. I don't even know the words, really. Somebody on Twitter just said, I don't understand how people rate Vardy so highly. I could give you some stats about Vardy. In fact, we will do it in a minute. But what I would say about Vardy is this. He is a player that suits a team that plays on the break. I don't think Vardy would do particularly well in a Man City side. Leicester starting to have a little bit more of the ball now. And as Lovro says, Vardy's got 99 Premier League goals. One more and he's in the 100 club. Massive part of why they won the Premier League as well. So you can't dismiss him. Welcome to Krista and Jacobs Schumann and Harry Collins, who have joined on Hot Mic. Mark363 is the invite code. The link is in the video description. It's on Apple and Android. Give it a go. Give it a go. Some people really enjoy it. Give it a go. See what you think. Where do you think that Chelsea will finish, says Patterson? I said before lockdown was broken that I think United and Chelsea will get top 4. I mean, ideally, I don't really care. I think Chelsea are going to be a threat next season and they're going to buy well anyway. So I probably would prefer they were in the Champions League because then it's as hard for them as it will be for everybody else. I think Chelsea... I think Chelsea... Look, if I'm saying what the percentage is of people get... Oh, Connolly... And Justin does well there. He's a handful, that Connolly, but he just lacks a little bit of pace. I've always said that I think Leicester can be caught. Who's better, Grealish or Maddison? Said somebody on Hot Mic. And... Hi Mark, the reason the penalty wasn't a red is because the defender made a genuine attempt to play the ball inside the penalty area, says Rowan. I don't agree with the rule, but I knew the rule was that, or double jeopardy, whatever you want to call it. Sean Turner, I don't understand players who say I will only join if the team get Champions League football. Like Sancho, we ain't going to win the Champions League, so why is it a big deal? Because they can, really. Because they can, I suppose. Ding, 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 ding. When will Liverpool lift the trophy, says Kean Barry? I think they will lift the trophy against... Yellow card for Ndidi. I think they'll lift the trophy against Villa. Their next game is Palace, which I think they'll win. Then they'll need 2 more points. I think they'll draw with City, and then I think they'll lift the trophy against Villa, which is their next game after that. Ethan Derrick says that Hot Mic is great. Talking of Vardy, did you see Rebecca is suing Colleen? No, I didn't, says Existence. She can afford it, though. Leicester have 2 wins in their last 7 league games, says White Owl. See, people were giving me stick when I was saying that... that Leicester can be caught. If Leicester City get Carvalho, should we go for Ndidi? Says Daniel Luciano. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why they'd be looking at William Carvalho, to be honest. Right, I want to just have a quick look at something here. What's it called? About Jamie Vardy. You'll be interested in this when I get there. I will get there as well. Brighton on the attack again. I think they've been the better team this half. But it's back with Schmeichel now. Leicester just not been impressive in these 2 games that I've watched so far. Not impressive at all. And it's not a blip, is it? They're just not that good. Stop going on about how you thought Leicester can get caught, says Ivan. I'll talk about what I want, Ivan. I don't think they can be caught. Right. So in the Premier League this season, Jamie Vardy's got the most goals. He's got 19. He's got. What else has he got? There's something else about him, Jamie Vardy, that he's very good at. I'll find it for you. That's not what I want to look at. Nasty foul there by Brighton. I think that's going to be a yellow card, definitely. Could have been a red. Yellow card. Could have been a bloody red. He's a bit lucky there, Stevens. Very lucky, I would say. There's a stat about Vardy that's really interesting. I can't bloody find it. Shots. It's like conversion rate or something. this? Here we go. So Jamie Vardy is the top scorer in the Premier League, but he's also top for percentage on target, with 60% of his shots being on target. Gabriel Jesus is 53%, Mane is 52%, Martial's 50%, and Rashford is 48%. So Martial and Rashford are both in the top 5, but Vardy's number 1 for that. He's also... Is he in the top 5 for anything else? Rashford's number 1 for hitting the post. De Bruyne's number 1 for goals outside the penalty area. Richarlison's number 1 with headers. So yeah, you know, he's clinical, is old Vardy. That's what I'm trying to say. Shots to goal ratio, says Jack Brown 852. I can't be asked to go and figure that out. And Vin Badar says, what's your opinion on Johnny Evans? When he was at United, I couldn't stand him, but versus Pink Boots and Rojo, he would have been a solid for United. I was very happy when we sold Johnny Evans, and the videos are there on the United stand. Because I think at that time it was like, we shouldn't have a player like Johnny Evans. But you're right. You look at the players that we've kept, and yes, you are right. It's he's done a very, very good job, and he was linked with Man City, wasn't he, last summer? Hi Mark, followed you from Oz on Hot Mic now, says Shay 9999 Hang. Thank you very much, pal. Einstein just tweeted that Martinelli suffered a knee injury and has to see a specialist. We are cursed, says Existence. That's really bad news, mate. What do you have for dinner? Mark, says Fockett Pratt. I'm having steak and boiled potatoes tonight. I had chicken enchiladas. Really nice. Really nice with a spicy rice and salad. What's your opinion on... Yeah, I've done Johnny Evans. So, yeah, nice dinner. I'm feeling it. I'm quite full, actually. It was very, very nice. Thanks, everyone who's trying out the Hot Mic as well. You can do that through the video description. Make sure you use the invite code MARK363. I'll tell you how to properly use it at half-time. But if you are using it, fair play, and thank you for that. Oh, Vardy, keeper's got it. A little bit of a chance. How dreadful have Leicester been? I don't want to tweet it because every time I tweet it, it's a jinx. But oh my god, the keeper made a right error there. It's like one of those keepers you used to get as a kid with the plastic thing. You put the ball there and you turn them. He rolls it out to Vardy basically, but he got away with it. 40 minutes gone. Who does everyone support in the live comments? Let us know on both Hot Mic and on YouTube. Just want to have a bit of a snapshot as to who people support. Nearly got 5,500 watching on YouTube as well. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you're new. We're getting very close to 166,000. Bottom right hand corner to subscribe. I don't see, people have taken that literally. Sorry. Who is your team that you support? Not the team that you're supporting for this game. Because either we've suddenly had a massive spike in Leicester subscribers, or people are just thinking I'm talking about Leicester. Got a few Liverpool, quite a few United, no surprise. Charlton, Samuel Ward. I would never have guessed with the Charlton Abbey, but I like the Charlton Abbey. I've always liked the Charlton Abbey. A few Chelsea fans as well. You're very welcome. Big game for you as well. I mean, look, it's funny, isn't it? United and Wolves fans say they can't catch Leicester, but Chelsea are 3 points behind Leicester, and we think we can catch Chelsea. So, you know, it's relative. Cork City, Rangers, PSG, United, Leeds, Arsenal, Barcelona, Rochdale, Chelsea, West Ham. Cross comes in for Leicester, caught by the keeper. Reading, Napoli, says Nicholas on Hot Mic. I like that. Doncaster, says Coopsy. A few United. We've got a Wolves fan in Swacky. Birmingham, says Harry Davis. And United are the team for me, says Harry Reeves. So we are about 4 minutes away from the half-time whistle, and it remains 0-0 with a missed penalty from Morpay. Disappointed, Morpay. You've let us down after all that enjoyable stuff. You've gone and let us down. You could have been a hero. LA Galaxy, says Anthony H. Tabray says, how does hot mice work? I don't know about hot mice. I can tell you about hot Mike. 43 minutes gone here. Connolly does well. Gets it out to Moy. It's not Moy. Crap shot. It was Moy, actually. It looked like he had hair for a minute. I thought it was somebody with blonde hair. It wasn't. It must be the sun shining off his bald head. But Moy, terrible shot. It's a shame, actually, because he had an overlap, although I think Gray had read the overlap, so it was probably the right thing to do. Just a very bad shot. Very bad shot. Do you think the Blues can get promoted next few years, says Alex Golding? It's very hard, because they've got a corner here, Brighton, actually. Let's just see what happens with this. I thought it was just a crap shot, but he got a bit of a deflection on it. Oh, well done. Good defensive header there. Dunk on the back post, and he did get his head on it, but the Leicester player did as well. Brighton more than capable in this game at the moment. More than capable. No Data says, I'm a big fan. What do you think of Foden? I didn't actually see the game last night, so I'm not 100% sure about how well he played, but if he's a good player. He just needs to get a bit of bloody game time, doesn't he? But I've seen that Pep said that he would be interested in not replacing Silva in the summer and giving Foden the chance. Josh Bruthwood says, prediction for the Spurs West Ham game. Mate, Spurs were so bad. It's difficult to say, isn't it? West Ham need the win. I'd probably say it's going to be a draw. I don't think Spurs look very good at all at the moment. Vardy's gone down injured there. I thought he got the ball. So late free kick here for Leicester. Josie's going to get the sack, says Gaz Elliott. Spurs 5-0, says Alvin Blocks. I think that I just don't. Look, I don't want Mourinho to be successful at Spurs, because that comes at the expense of Manchester United, doesn't it? So I don't want him to be successful. But I just don't ever know why Spurs did that. Oh, Leicester header on the back post. Sionku, it was bouncing around. Came to him on the back post and he headed it wide. There was a lot going on before that. Maddison cut it across. People swinging at it all over the place. And it came to Sionku on the back post and he heads it wide. Not an easy chance for him. Could have been a bloody handball on Burn as well. Seems to be an easy excuse for... I don't know what you're on about, Lewis Downhill. I don't really want to read it out either. And Spurs versus Wham Watchalong, says Marquino Pennacook. I'm doing United Stand at 8 o'clock, mate, so I can't, unfortunately. 6 minutes of added time in this first half here. And Ski Mask 442 says, I'm in hospital watching this. Well, I hope you get well better soon, pal. You know, because you're called Ski Mask, I automatically thought hospital, you've hit a tree skiing, which you clearly probably haven't, but I did think that. So, but whatever it is, I hope you recover soon and you're on the mend, mate. You might be visiting someone, in which case, you're clearly not ill unless you've got something you've been diagnosed of. I'm sort of digging a hole here, but all the best in the hospital. Mark, what do you think about Jose calling Harry Kane Harry Hero, says John Morris? It's a bit like me calling Jose a prat, isn't it? You know, it's not his name. Arsenal will make top 4, says Rory. It's not. The thing is, though, you know, when you say that, Rory, there was a time when people would say you're deluded. Now they just think you're ill, like, because you're not getting top 4, and it's very sad when Arsenal fans start talking about it because it's not realistic. It's just not going to happen. Okay. Sionko looks fairly hot with that long hair, says Lewis Downhill. Let's have a look what we're doing on YouTube for subscribers. Don't want to look at that. We're 100 subscribers away from 166,000, so please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, and let's see if we can change the number to 166. Bottom right hand corner to do it. We've got lots of watch alongs on here. I'll be back doing FIFA tomorrow. I'm playing FIFA career mode tomorrow because I'm not doing any watch alongs on here tomorrow. So FIFA will be being done tomorrow afternoon. And then on Thursday we've got Arsenal Southampton at 6 and then Chelsea Man City straight after that. So 2 big games on Thursday and some good games on the weekend as well. Oh, I thought it was going to be a good cross for Brighton, but they've cleared it, Leicester. And it's another corner for Brighton. They've been more than competitive in this game, Brighton. Arsenal only make top 4 if you turn the table upside down, says Wolfie. I like it. I like it, Wolfie. High five. That's the sort of stuff I like. Very, very, very good. Very good. So corner for Brighton here. Whips it in. Cleared. Get it in again. And he gives a foul against Leicester. Thanks for the super chat. Well, it's not a super chat. It's a donation on Hot Mic. It's from Christopher Nolan. He says, I think I like Hot Mic better than YouTube. Thanks, pal. Appreciate that. Leicester in the attack here. We've still got another minute before half time. Mark, you're cute, says Abby. Thank you. You're only human. You're only human. 30 seconds left of this first half. Leicester will probably... I predicted Leicester to win 2-0. What's your score predictions? Get in the live comments. What do you think? Harry Davis says he likes the crowd noise on Hot Mic. I'll tell everyone about Hot Mic in a minute, but let's just see this first half out. Very disappointing from Leicester is what I would say. Thanks for the super chat, Jordan Such. He says Arsenal still have to play Wolves, Leicester, Spurs and Liverpool. Imagine still thinking they could get top 4. They will get no points from those 4 games. I think even if Arsenal win every single game, they're not getting top 4, mate, because they're still in the league. They are... Arsenal are 6 points behind United and Wolves, 11 points behind Chelsea, 15 points behind Leicester. They're 11 points off 4th. Even if they win every game, they won't make 11 points on Chelsea. So they've got no hope. Absolutely none. We are at half-time here. So 0-0 at half-time. I've been impressed with Brighton. I actually wanted Brighton to go down, but that all changed when something happened to make that change. Oh, Morpay's won it at the end! He's not scored his penalty today, but I've been impressed with Brighton. And United actually play Brighton a week tonight. So it's interesting, isn't it, that as to how that how that could play out next week for Brighton and Manchester United. But a decent first half performance from Brighton. Unfortunately, Maupay did miss a penalty, which was disappointing because I would like to see Brighton win today because I want United to be able to... look, I think I'm very excited about United's game against Sheffield United tomorrow, but imagine if we can go into that knowing we can get closer to Leicester again. United have got Leicester to play, so for me I will automatically take 3 points off. As of Wolves have got to play Leicester. No, they haven't. I've said that before. Leicester have got to play United, so that 8-point gap to me, you have to work in your head that it's a 5-point gap. So if they dropped points again today, it just gets closer and closer. Manchester United 2.0 got freaked out by Maupay scored at the end. Please subscribe if you're new on YouTube. We're trying to get up to 166,000 tonight. We're only 100 subscribers off it. So bottom right hand corner, everybody's welcome on this channel. Some really good different opinions from lots of different football fans. You're all welcome. It doesn't matter who you support. You know, United stand. We get people watching who aren't United fans. That is a United fan channel. Here it's everybody. That's football. FIFA's back tomorrow. Thursday night it's Southampton Arsenal followed by Man City Chelsea. Got some good games on the weekend actually. I'll tell you what they are now. We may as well. It's at half time. Story of that half though. I think Brighton have been the better team. I don't know what's going on with Leicester. I just do not know what's going on with Leicester. I don't think they were particularly good against Watford. I don't think they've been particularly good tonight. I just don't know what's wrong with them. They weren't particularly good before the lockdown either. So something seems to be going on with them. There's no football on Friday night, so I won't be doing a watch-along for that. On Saturday, I'll be doing Manchester United against Norwich, which is a 5:30 kickoff. And then on Sunday, bloody Sunday, I'm doing the FA Cup games. I'm going to do Leicester... Sheffield United against Arsenal at 1 o'clock and Leicester against Chelsea at 4 o'clock. They're the two games I'm going to do on Sunday, bloody Sunday. Next Tuesday it's Brighton against United, and on the Wednesday we've got what we got on the next Wednesday? We've got Everton Leicester at 6 o'clock. We'll be doing that, and probably West Ham Chelsea because obviously Leicester and Chelsea are big games at the moment. And then on Thursday night, it's Man City against Liverpool, which I think will be an interesting one. So lots and lots of football on here. Tune in, subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and join the chat. You're all very, very welcome. And you can also do... Harry Davis says, when's the next Cooking with Goldbridge? I don't know, mate, because I'm just so bloody busy. So busy at the moment. So busy at the moment. Mark, why do you think star players like Coutinho and Griezmann have failed with Barcelona, says Yonko. I don't know, mate, but they've bought really badly. Moussa Dembele was 135 million quid. I think Coutinho was the same. Griezmann was 100 million. So they've spent nearly 400 million quid on 3 flops. And there's been other flops as well. So Barcelona are wasting a lot of money at the moment. And I heard that Barcelona are in debt. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know what's happening with that. I'm doing all right, Mohammed. I hope you're doing well as well. Welcome to Jacobs Schumann and Krista, who've joined on... oh, no, there's more than that. There's way more than that. We're looking at the same page. Welcome to James, Gary Walsh, Mohammed, Emmanuel, and Sven, and Sebastian, and Gary Walsh, and everybody who's joining on Hot Mic. I'll give a shout out to Hot Mic. The link's in the video description. It's an app. It's on Apple and Android. It's free. Just use the invite code Mark363. Follow me on there, Mark Goldbridge. You'll see we're doing a live stream for Leicester against Brighton, which is what we're doing on YouTube. Hot Mic's a little bit different. You still get a live chat, which you can interact with people. You get a little bit of crowd noise to add a bit of ambience. And also you can sync in. So if you're one of those people who watches and you're a little bit behind me, what you do is go into the app, turn the volume on to the commentary that you're watching, press my face on the app, it will say sync, press sync, keep the audio on the app, keep the audio on your TV, press the sync button, it will listen to your TV, it will ping and say you're synced in, turn the audio off on your TV, and what you'll see is me talking exactly with what's on your TV. I don't know how the technology works, but it works, it's very good, and everybody on Hot Mic will testify that. Links in the video description. Invite code Mark363. Check it out for the second half and see what you think, because we are using it quite a bit on this channel for the watch-alongs, and those people who are a little bit, behind or whatever, they're quite enjoying it. Pump it up, says Mohammed. And Mark, who do you think is your best sporting family? Says Jesse Lingard. I don't know what that means. To anyone who does not rate Arta, has never seen him play, says the Goat Messi. Well, he's a Barcelona fan and he's not happy that they've sold him, to be honest. So, there you go. Joel Morris. Mark, what do you think of Paul Merson saying Harry Kane won't score 25 to 30 goals next season with the way Jose will want to play? Thanks for the super chat, Joel. And thanks for the general Premier League chat. I mean, I think you're right. I spoke. I don't know where I spoke about this, but I do agree with you, Joel. I think that I always said this. Under Mourinho, you're not going to have as many shots. If you're a striker under Mourinho and you're a striker under Klopp or Pep or Lampard, you're going to get more shots at Chelsea on goal than you're going to get than Spurs. And if you're Harry Kane, you know you can't score every shot, so you want more shots to score more goals. He won't get the chances at Spurs under Mourinho that he would get under Pochettino or under Lampard. So I think this is a big reason why Harry Kane wants to go. He's got one career. He's been very loyal to Spurs, but this manager's not going to work. And what are you going to see? What are you going to see with Mourinho is this. It's not going to work, and there's going to be unrest. And we saw it at United. Pogba was a big player in the dressing room, and there was unrest. You're going to see it again with Harry Kane and a few other players at Spurs, because Mourinho plays negative football. And Spurs fans are a bit like we were, United fans. We don't want to listen to that. Oh, he's changed. He's still, we love Jose. He's our Jose. And that's what Spurs are like at the moment. And we were like that. I stuck with Mourinho for a long time at United, as the videos show on the United stand. But ultimately, by the end of it, you're just like, he's not good enough. He's not good enough as a creative manager. And it will go sour. I as soon as Mourinho went to Spurs, I was just like, they don't fit. They just don't fit. I mean, and I'm not being disrespectful to Spurs. I think if he'd gone to Arsenal, he wouldn't have fit. I think it would have took DT all of about 3 minutes to turn on Jose. I mean, no, to be honest, I think DT's all right, really. He would have been. I think they would like Mourinho, but then they'd realise what we realised. We liked Mourinho at United. I'm sure Spurs like Mourinho, but you come to realise it's Mourinho. It's not your club. He won't play. He's never going to play entertaining football. And as we saw against United on Friday night, that, if I was a Spurs fan, I don't know what I take from that game other than the point, because they created nothing. Like, United had 2 chances from Rashford he missed, 2 from Martial he missed, a couple of others. We had chances and we didn't score them. But Spurs, the Son header and then the mistake that they scored from, nothing created at all. Very defensive. Harry Ray says Arsenal are on track to do worse than Chelsea when they finish 10th. I think Arsenal against Southampton it's on Thursday night, isn't it? I'm looking at where it is. I don't think it's actually that important where it is, but it's actually at Southampton. So I think Southampton might beat Arsenal on Thursday night, and if they do, they go level on points with Arsenal. They haven't got the same goal difference, but it's not looking good for Arsenal at all. It's not looking good for Arsenal at all, and they could drop as low as 14th if things really go wrong for them over the next few games. But I think the problem with Arsenal, just very quickly, is not Arteta. I think Arteta needs patience. But the one thing that would worry me a little bit, and look, it shouldn't worry Arsenal fans too much, because we still don't know what Jose's. We still don't regularly see Ollie's style of football. So, but I don't know what Arteta's style of football is. Everyone's like, oh, he knows, he's learnt the ways of the force from Pep. But against Pep, he parked the bus, and then against Brighton, he played an attacking team with no fluidity at all. He needs better players, I think. Jose probably should be looking to shift to Italy, says Sarab Chowdhury. I thought exactly that. I don't know why he didn't do that. And Josh Sutton says, I saw insights from ex-Premier League goalkeeper Mark Schwarzer into the technical deficiencies of De Gea in his form loss, spoken from a keeper's point of view, and it was interesting, says Josh. Maybe you could elaborate, Josh, and tell us why it was interesting. Thanks to, if you are on Hot Mic, make sure you follow us as well. Mark Goldbridge, follow. There's a follow button. Make sure you follow. There's a lot of people joining, like Scott Simpson and Kian Connolly and Rohan and Bobby and Mateus and Wilhelm and Ben and Gabby and Edris and Babusha and Isaac. But I'm not getting many notifications of people following me. So make sure you click the follow button. Now people are doing it. That's it. Well done. Ishak's doing it. Gustav's done it. Yeah. So once you've signed up with the Mark 363 invite code, make sure you follow Mark Goldbridge, which is the channel I'll be doing the hot mic things from there. Ben Simpson, Morpay has won it. Well, Morpay's a bloody prat. He's missed a penalty. He's missed a bloody penalty in this game, and I wish he'd scored it. But I'm very encouraged by Brighton in the first half. I predicted that they would win this game. I predicted Leicester would win this game 2-0, and on that first half, Leicester have been very poor with better players. So, is this the story of what we're going to see in this Premier League season? I think Manchester United can win their next 5 games, and I would predict that, Leicester would have won this game because they've got the better team. But, are we already into that world that we normally see at the end of a season where teams that are in the bottom 5 and they don't look very good, they're suddenly playing for their lives, and those teams above them can't get that sort of motivation? I think Chesney says Brighton 1-0. Get your score predictions in for the second half then, everybody. I bloody love Brighton to win. I think if Brighton win, they'll stay up, by the way. I think they've got a very good chance of staying up anyway. But we're 50 subscribers away from 166,000 on YouTube. So please subscribe to the channel if you are new. And second half has not quite kicked off yet. But very good first half from Brighton. Very bad first half from Leicester. And it is actually 0-0 with a missed penalty from Marpay. I don't think there was any doubts it was a penalty. I don't think anyone thinks that. John Durant says, hi Mark, are you impressed with Chelsea's signings? Yeah, Werner's fantastic. I think Ziyech's a player that... Both players are players that we wanted at United, so I can't... And I don't do that. Look, the one that really proves that is when Liverpool bought Fabinho, and I said, look, fantastic signing. And I'm not a fan of Liverpool. I'm not a fan of Chelsea, of course, but their signings have been very, very good. And again, it doesn't surprise me with Chelsea. They do this a lot. They do bring in good players, and fair play to them for doing it. Not gonna lie, they've done well. What more would it take for Arsenal to be relegated in the near future, says Delicate Official, and can you see it happening? No, I don't. I don't see that. I don't see it. I don't think it's possible for an Arsenal, a Spurs, a United. I don't see it's possible for them to get relegated. I just don't. They've got two. When you've got Aubameyang in your team and Lacazette in your team, that's 30 to 40 goals straight away. And when you look at the Premier League in the wider context, you look at, let's have a look at Norwich, 25 goals, Villa 35 goals, Bournemouth 29 goals, West Ham 35 goals. Well, Aubameyang and Lacazette are going to get you 35 goals straight away without all your other little goals you might get. You're going to get one from Pepe in a season. You're going to get a couple from, 4 or 5 from Martinelli. Arsenal are always going to score around 50 goals a season, at least. And they're on 41 at the moment, and they've had a bad season. So Arsenal will get to about 50 goals. If you're scoring 50 goals, you're not getting relegated. It's as simple as that. And yeah, simple as that as far as I'm concerned. Are Arsenal the next Leeds, says Road to Dawn? They won't get relegated, Arsenal. I've said it so many times. Arsenal fans need to get real. They need to get real. I talk to Robbie quite regularly. I talk to a few of the Arsenal lads, and they're still where we were as United fans a couple of years ago, where we still think we can start a season and win it. Deep down we know we can't, but the expectation is still there. United, the things have got better at United, not because expectations have been lowered, but because expectations have become real. That Leicester to a certain extent, but certainly Liverpool, Man City are just better than us, and we need time to get to that level. And that's helped with the realism going through the fan base and the club and the manager and the players, and that hunger is there to get back. So we're not the expectations aren't being lowered. but the expectations around where we are have been realised, and now there's a desire and a fight to get back. I still think Arsenal haven't yet realised where they are as a football club and as a fan base. And when they do that, they'll start to see that, Arsenal aren't going to... I can tell you now, Arsenal aren't going to finish in the top four. They're not. Next season, Arsenal will not finish in the top four. And but Arsenal fans, I could speak to Robbie and everybody else, and DT and Troops, they wouldn't accept that. Nah, sod it, I'm going to do a charity bet that we'll finish above you next year. And I'm like, you're giving money to charity because you're not going to finish in the top four next year. It's unrealistic. It's not impossible, but it's very unrealistic. It's like Leicester winning when they won the league. It did happen, but nobody would have predicted it. But you're not going to finish in the top four next year because Liverpool and Man City are going to finish in the top four. I think Chelsea are going to finish in the top four. And then I would hope United are going to finish in the top four. So how are you getting in the top four? And are you going to be any better than Leicester or Wolves or Spurs, who will also be fighting for it? I don't think so. So Arsenal, it's a long road back. And if I was an Arsenal fan, I would be thinking, this season's a bit of a write-off. If we could win the FA Cup, great, but it's a write-off. Next season, it's about steps up the ladder. I would be saying 5th place is good. And then the season after that, you go for top four. Arsenal are Pratt FC, says update. And Pepe scored a nice goal, but his game was crap, says Anthony H on the hot mic. I agree, Anthony. I think you're spot on. I thought the goal was superb by a shot from the edge of the box there by Morpay, but it's crap. Yeah, I thought the goal by Pepe was absolutely brilliant, but was he in the game apart from that? Mark, here's a fun game. Follow Ricky on Twitter, but read out his tweets to yourself in his voice. It's a very interactive experience. I'm fortunate enough that I get WhatsApp messages from Ricky, and I always read them out in his voice. Listen up, Mark. Matic is bloody... Well, he's very happy with me at the moment, because on my preview I said to pick Matic and Mata. So... there's a good ball into the channel for Leicester there. Cut back. Crap cut back, and Moy clears it. I'd absolutely love Leicester to drop points. I'd absolutely love it. But, I'll hold judgment because that Chilwell goal at the end of the game on Saturday was very late, wasn't it? And I know there was a later equaliser, but bloody hell, Fleck, says Josh Sutton. Curtis, thanks. Do you think Bellerin will play and plant any trees this season? Says Brian Caleb. So yeah, Bellerin of Arsenal said that if for every game Arsenal win this season, he's going to plant a load of trees. But I think he tweeted it before Arsenal had played any games, and he obviously hasn't planted any trees yet. Corner to Leicester here. Leicester can only get better in this half. That's the problem. Oh no, it's a foul. It's not a corner. It's a foul, so it'll be a free kick for the keeper to kick. Leno's out for 6 weeks, says Mike Cornell on Hot Mic. I think Leicester are looking better this half. I mean, to be fair, I'm glad I didn't say that just a second before because Burns let it go out. But Trotter's got them playing quite good football. That's his name, isn't it? The Brighton manager. I think it is. No, not Trotter. It's not only fools and horses. Potter. Bloody trotter. Is it what's the name of the Brighton manager? Is it Potter? Well, he's got Brighton playing good football. Best of Goldbridge, Pereira is as fast as a tranquilised mattress, says Josh Sutton. Please press the follow button if you're on Hot Mic, because we're only 15 away from 3,000 followers, so that'd be nice to hit. We don't normally shout out the Hot Mic following, but give us a follow on Hot Mic, and we're only 3,000 away. I know a few people have joined up. You can do that through the link in the video description and try it out with the invite code Mark363. But if you could follow Mark Goldbridge on there, we're very, very close to hitting 3,000. We've still not done it. We're still on 2985. I'll keep checking back until we do it. So followers, if you're in there, just press the follow button. Big up the Hot Mic Massive, says James. He's getting a few likes. I can like it as well, James. It's Graham Potter, says Say. Thank you. Derek Trotter, says Stephen Diak. Thank you. Hot Mic is goated, says Babasha. Sionku or Maguire, says Bazim. Sionku's a very good player at Leicester. I mean, Leicester landed on their feet there, didn't they? You sell your centre back for 80 million, and then you get a centre back. I mean, what did they pay for him? Probably not very much. So it's brilliant business for Leicester. Nice little ball into the box for Leicester. This they're starting to do a little bit more in this game, but still 0-0. I think Maguire's better than Sionku, but that's just United fan bias. I can totally agree with people. Well, obviously I don't agree, but I can totally understand how people would say that he's better than Maguire. But obviously I'm going to be a bit biased. I know Tony Garner. I know Sionku was already there, but what did they pay for him? Mark the Baller says 8 million. He's fantastic. I don't know how old he is as well. I think he should be looking at going to a bigger club. I think if you put Sionku next to Virgil van Dijk at Liverpool, you'd have a brilliant pairing because he's a baller as well. I mean, to be honest, he's probably the sort of player that Arsenal should be looking at. Leicester are doing better now this half. They're having a lot more of the ball around the Brighton penalty box. It is water, Steve, don't worry. Leicester here on the final third again. Falls over his own feet there. I think it was Damari Gray. Harry Ray says Leicester have been brilliant in the transfer market. They've had less net spend than Villa, and look at the difference. I think Villa are another team. There was a team last season. Was it Fulham who did it as well? Spent a lot of money and went down. And Villa have done the same. They spent a lot of money. And maybe there's a lesson to be learnt there. Stick with the team. You know, if you're a championship side coming up, what an interception that was. I think it was, might have been Dunk trying to slip in Vardy they were, and he just made a good slide tackle. But yeah, I mean, if you get promoted from the championship, maybe stick with the team that got you promoted, because I'm sure it has a big impact on the morale of the team as well. When you get promoted and then the manager goes and buys 5 or 6 players for the Premier League, maybe stick with the players that have got you up into the Premier League. Leicester, Vardy, Brighton, and Chilwell hits it wide. Hard, easier finish than the one against Watford, but he volleyed it wide with his right foot. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. That is an interesting point, isn't it? Villa spent a lot of money. They're in the bottom 3. They could go down. Fulham spent a lot of money the season before. They went down. You look at teams that have done well this season. Who came up last year? Villa, Norwich, and Sheffield United. Sheffield United didn't buy many players, did they? They stuck with the same players. Scott Green says Chilwell is overrated. He scored a worldie, but he's not really that good. I don't think defensively he's that good. I think going forward he's all right. come out to go in? Why is that not updating? Come out. Cross comes in from Brighton. It's going to stay in. And he's kicked it out for a throw-in. What a prat. What a prat. $3,000 followers on Hot Mic. Thanks everyone who's on there and followed me and given it a go. I know a lot of you are enjoying it. And where's Zane tonight? I don't know. I'd probably be wanting to watch the Spurs game, I suppose. But have you seen the news today? 91st minute against Leicester, says Callum Fisher. Morpay has won it. 10 minutes of this half. I think Leicester have been better the second half, but they couldn't have been any worse. They were awful first half. This is the time where you want Brighton to score, because I don't think Leicester have got 2 goals in them at all. I think Leicester are going to win this. Look, I predicted Leicester to win 2-0, and maybe they go 1-0 up. Brighton try and get a goal and they catch them out on the break. But I think if Brighton go 1-0 ahead, Leicester are dropping points. They've just not done enough. I don't know what's wrong with Leicester really. Do you know what's wrong with Leicester? I just don't know. They've been a little bit better second half, but they don't look like a team that's they're third in the league. They've got a good gap on Chelsea and before lockdown they were 5 points ahead of Chelsea. 8 points ahead of United. It's a big gap, and they're playing like they're hanging on. When's Wolves' next game? Is it tomorrow? Substitution for Brighton. Is it Trossard coming on? I quite like Trossard. I think he's a good player. It might not be Trossard actually. I think it's Morpay's come off. Morpay can't win it at the end. Trossard's on, Proper's on, and March is on, and Morpay's gone off. They made a triple substitution. We can't sing Morpay's won it at the end. We can't do it. Can't be done. We're 20 subscribers away from 166,000. So please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner, and I could change the number. Iheanacho's hurt himself. He's saying, look at my ankle. You've hurt my ankle. You've hurt my ankle. Yeah, I'm a bit sad actually. I'm really sad. I was hoping that we were going to get another one of these Mopants. Morpay's won it at the end! But not today. I did it. The thing is that I'll probably never get to use that again, because if he does it against United next Tuesday, I'm never using it. Never in a million years. Brighton starting to drop a little bit here. They're starting to drop back and invite the pressure from Leicester, which I don't think is a good idea. I think they were much better in the first half when they were taking the game to Leicester. I think if you start to give Leicester the ball, they are quite capable of creating chances. Mark, pub or beer garden for first visit, says Nick P. Can you actually go in a pub? Good. Well, no, keeper's not bothered by that at all. Maddison, been quite quiet tonight, actually. We've not mentioned Maddison at all, have we, really? Good 1-2 there. Gets it out his feet. Shot's not that good. The creativity is interesting. Why does the Premier League have such terrible referees who are like in their 80s? Also, you look good today, Mark, says Pumpkin Spice Latte. Thanks, mate. Thanks for that. Come on, the Seagulls, says Dylan Wright. And pubs are opening, Prince, but I think, is it not all outside? I don't know whether they're opening inside. I do like this about Brighton, though. They do try to play out from the back, and then he smashes it down the line 40 yards. Leicester are boring to watch, or is it just me, says Salah Ahmed. They were a lot better in the first 6 months of the season. I don't know what's gone wrong with them. Imagine if we signed Maddison. So overrated, says Sean Turner. I mean, look, it's only their second game back. You know, they don't suddenly get better because they've played 2 games or a game and a half. I still think they're quite rusty. Trossard. That's a foul, ref. How is he not given a foul there? You literally saw him push him. Watch the bloody Leicester score now. Vardy. Yeah, see, that's not a foul. That was a foul as well by Trossard, and he's let both go. So the referee's equalled that out, to be fair, because he did just shove the back of the Leicester player as well. Game's getting a little bit stretched here. Moy gets it outright to the left. Leicester got plenty of players back, though. March is on a march. And Leicester will get rid of it. Well done by Vardy. Still half an hour to go. Leicester looks good because the other team's playing poorly, says Eric Palmer. Mark, me and my dad watched your United Watchalong and he was impressed by how the green screen works, says James. Cool app, Mark, says Napoli 1926 on Hot Mic. No clear-cut chances, says Jeremy Johnson. Make sure you give the app microphone permission in order to sync, says T Bobby, if you're having problems on there. Plenty of people who will help you out in the live comments on the Hot Mic if you're having problems syncing up. Lamptey has been brilliant today for Brighton, says Cameron Hood. I just wanted to have a quick look, actually. We were just talking there, weren't we, about Wolves, and they're... I think they're playing tomorrow at the same time United are playing, but I just wanted to have a quick look at that. No, Wolves aren't playing. That's weird, isn't it? Oh yeah, because Wolves are playing on Saturday, aren't they? That's why. Brighton on the attack here. I'd love Brighton to score. .63 minutes. There's a chance to whip a cross in there. I don't think he wants to do it, Moy. Chilwell's got it, wins it back. Brighton win it back. Nice little 1-2. Give and go. Corner ball to Brighton. I don't think they're going to score from a corner, though, because Leicester are quite good in the air. Did you know Tom Cherenko is a Chelsea fan, says Joseph Odes. Hi, Mark. Do you think we'll see Pereira or Lingard tomorrow night, says Mark Whitten. I bloody hope not, mate. And cinemas open in the UK soon. Will you be going, says Existence. And Brighton's aerial ball can exploit United's defence, says Animish Ranjan. Wolves are playing Bournemouth tomorrow. I must have just totally missed that. Oh, yeah, they are. You're right. They should win that. They should. I'd be more confident of them beating them than us beating Sheffield United, and I think we will. Thanks for the contribution, the boy Ace. Corner comes in from Brighton. Decent one. Well headed away by Johnny Evans. I mean, it's going to have to be something very special to score against Brighton, Leicester from across. They are very good in the air, both Evans and Sionku. And they've won another corner, Brighton. Ethan, right, if you're on Hot Mic and you're trying to sync in, press the screen that's got me on it and it will say sync. Turn the volume on for the commentary of the game that you're watching. Keep the volume of mine on. Hold it up to the telly and press sync. It will listen to your TV. It will ping and say we've synced in. Then you can turn your audio off on your telly and just listen to mine. The reason I ask is that Pogba and Bruno can't play every game, says Mark Whitten. Yeah, but rest them for the... I think, Mark, I would rest them for the Norwich Premier League, Norwich FA Cup game. I'm not bothered about... I'd like to win the FA Cup, but I'm not as bothered about that as I am bothered about the Premier League. Leicester, they see, look at this. Brighton have had a good old attack here, and Leicester just doing the long ball up to Vardy. Good defensive play. Lamptey's played brilliant. You're absolutely spot on. He's played really, really well for Brighton. Be interesting to see him up against Rashford next week. We've hit 166k on YouTube as well. Thanks everyone for subscribing. Bottom right hand corner to do that. Appreciate that. Make sure you follow us on Hot Mic if you are on there. 66 minutes gone here. Starting to get a bit nervous because it's actually a very big 2 points for Leicester to drop. I didn't expect them to drop it, and I still don't think they will. But these are the sort of games that annoy me. You think, you know what? Why are Leicester not 3-0 up and my expectations are gone? But whilst it stays like this, and Brighton more than deserve a point in this game. They totally deserve a point. But you just know Leicester are going to scam a goal somewhere. And that possibility of Leicester dropping points disintegrates. But they're in the box here. And thoughts on how the new Ajax away kit, says Julien. Why can't Adidas do that for United? Even Arsenal's kits this season have been better. And Jordan Such still predict 2-0 Leicester, Mark. I think I'm going to stick with 2-0 for Leicester, because I think if Leicester were to score, Brighton would try and get an equaliser, and then they'd probably catch them on the break and get the second goal. So I'm going to stick with the 2-0. I've got no reason to change it. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Brighton win. I'll be very happy with a point. It's still 2 points dropped, isn't it? But if Brighton can get a goal, Leicester aren't going to get a win. There's not long enough left. Tillerman's coming on for Leicester. Mark, if you reach 1 million subs on United Stand, would you host an awards show to recognise achievements and invite regulars like AFTV did? I don't know. AFTV are very different to United Stand, aren't they? I mean, they're very good at what they do. Got a lot of respect for them, but I don't know whether we'd do that. I'm getting so vexed. Thought Leicester would make light work of Brighton. I put $250 on it, says Vinbara. Plenty of time left yet, mate. Plenty of time left yet. Dunk is low-key quality, says Fellainino. And Raheem says, I'm finally been able to sync to my hot mic. Well done, mate. How are you doing, says Disguised Dog. I'm alright, mates. Welcome to Kyle and Gabrielle on hot mic. And Kyle followed me as well. That's the thing. If you do sign up, mark 3 water break so I can talk about it. If you're going to try hot mic, links in the video description to do it. Use the invite code Mark363. Follow Mark Goldbridge on there, and then you'll see my stream anyway. But just give us a follow, because we will be using it for other watch-alongs. Morpay sat there with a yellow training top on his head. Not many people can pull off green and yellow like Morpay, but he has. He missed the penalty, of course. Mark, I've been banned from the United Stand for years. I think we need to have a bit of a, what do they call it, an amnesty, actually. And after 5 years, there's probably a lot of people who've been blocked who deserve a second chance. Really, maybe we should just get everybody back and start again. And Brian says Manchester United don't deserve a spot in the Champions League. Come on, Brian. Be sensible. I mean, there's 8 games to go. You deserve to be where you deserve to be at the end of the season. That's what happens, isn't it? At the moment, Leicester deserve to be in the top 4 because that's where they are. At the end of the season, it might be different. Is the weather hot in the UK today, says Existence? It's been quite hot today. It's going to be very hot tomorrow. It's going to be like Greek weather tomorrow, like over 30 degrees apparently. And the same on Thursday. So, in fact, let's have a look. I can tell you what it's going to be like. Very hot. And, of course, the United game kicks off at... the United game kicks off at 6 o'clock tomorrow. So... that will have a factor. But that should be harder for Sheffield United because we're going to have a lot more of the ball. 30 degrees tomorrow, 31 degrees on Thursday in the UK. Lamptey plays it in. Decent football inside Brighton. I think if they had more quality, they'd be laughing. Moy looks knackered. I'd take him off. Ow! Bloody elbow. Opinions on Celtic, Mark. You look great, by the way. That was from a super chat from Wolf Gillespie. And Mark, any news on Weekly United Top 10 chart show? Says Akib. He'll be back. He'll be back. The chart show will be back. Don't worry. I just wanted to get a couple of weeks of evidence before I did one. Anch says Brighton are playing better football than Arsenal. That's why they beat them. Hi Mark, what will the United stand be in 5 years, says Ashji. I don't know, mate. If you'd have said at the start of the year that we were going to spend 3 months in a global lockdown, we never would have predicted it. So I ain't going to predict anything about 5 years' time. Gonna be 43 Celsius today in Gilbert, Arizona, says Vin Brar. Yeah, but you probably get that quite regularly there, don't you? We don't get this sort of temperatures that often in the UK. It's very, we do get quite good summers, but that sort of heat is quite hot. We're always happy if it's like 22. Leicester on the attack. What a ball by Johnny Evans. That is down the line. Fantastic ball. And ends up with them winning a corner. 72 minutes. Mike Lilly says, are you watching West Ham Spurs? No, because I'm doing United Stand at 8 o'clock. There's too much to talk about on the United Stand tonight, so I'm not willing to not do a watch along for that, to be honest. Cross coming in from Maddison. He's got a good delivery. Punched away by the keeper. Trossard, the ball went out as well. That's the second corner. There's one in the first half like that as well, where they've curled it in and out. There's been a few subs actually that I've not noticed. When I come back to visit in the summer months, it's well hot there. The sun is different there, says Vin Barar. And let me just tell you about some substitutions. Leicester. There's Ricardo Pereira looking like a physics teacher. Tillemans has come on for Mendy and Barnes has come on for Iheanacho. Perez is on the pitch as well. I don't know why they've not updated that. Brighton have made 4 substitutions and Leicester have made 3. I just don't know who's on for who at the moment. I think Perez has come on for Damari Gray and Barnes has come on for Iheanacho. So another corner for Leicester here. Late goal Leicester. That's what they call him. That's what I call him. Do you wish we kept Johnny Evans, says Roger McElmont. Yes and no. At the time I thought it was the right thing to do. But, now you look at people like Phil Jones and you think, well, Predictions for Man City Chelsea, says Sebastian Anderson. Man City have got to win that game. But you just don't know. I mean, Chelsea aren't terrible. Chilwell picks it up from the corner, goes back to the halfway line. Leicester are missing the width of Ricardos' existence. He's a very good player for Leicester, and I didn't realise they'd miss him that much. But I think statistically, he's always up there in the top 2 or 3 fullbacks in the league. But Leicester have got the better quality off the bench. Tillemans coming on, Barnes coming on, Perez coming on. It's a good bench to have, isn't it? Brighton getting themselves into a few problems here, but they have got it out. Sionku goes back to Schmeichel. 15 to go. I hope Leicester lose, says Ange. Newcastle will come back. What's your favourite beer on draft down the pub, says Sean Turner. I'm not a beer snob, Sean, to be honest. Any beer down the pub at the moment would be good. Maddison, wild, laid down from Vardy, bounces up in front of him, awful. But my prediction that Leicester would be catchable doesn't look so wild at the moment, does it? I mean, look, 8 points is a big gap, and they shouldn't be caught. But I just looked at their fixtures, and I just thought, are they a dominating side, Leicester, or are they a side that defends well and nicks goals? And that's what they are. And I think at the moment they don't suit. Leicester are a team that's better when no one's keeping an eye on them, and everyone knows that Leicester are the team to catch in that top 4 space, whether it be Chelsea, United or Wolves. And I don't think they're dealing with that pressure well. I also don't think Leicester deal well with playing 3 games a week. If you think about Leicester, Barnes, if you think about Leicester, they're... Oh, Maddison with a shot. If you think about Leicester, before the break, before the lockdown, they were playing 1 game a week. And the way that Rodgers likes to play, and the way he played at Swansea and Celtic and Liverpool and Leicester, is he likes his team to, be very energetic. And it's hard to be that, isn't it, when you've got to play 3 games a week. Brighton will beat United to Dav 3 FC. I don't think they will. I think United would beat Leicester at the moment. I think United are a very good team at the moment. I don't think there's many clubs in England that can beat United at the moment. What's the bloody keeper shouting at you, Dunk? He's shouting at you. You've just given a soft corner away for nothing. 78 minutes. Leicester are slipping, says Joshua. Yeah, but I feel it in my fingers. I feel it in my toes. They're going to get a late goal again. Leicester's entire focus has been the Prem, no Europe, etc. Hence how they've been good. Same as Sheffield, says Josh Sutton. Yeah, and now they're having to play the same games and the same intensity as everybody else. Ooh, tell you what, I thought they were going to score there. Brighton are getting a little bit scrappy here. And Leicester are winning a lot of the second balls. I got a feeling United stand will help change the landscape of how football is consumed. Would you consider being an official Premier League fan channel independent of Manchester United, says Ash G? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Kyle on Hot Mic says Leicester have been great this year because no European football. Struggled in the season. They were in the Champions League. Don't do well playing multiple times a week. Spot on. And who's your all-time United goalkeeper, Mark, says DJ John T. In my lifetime, who I've seen play, it's got to be Schmeichel. And Uzar says the missed penalty will be a massive moment in this game. Yeah, but if Brighton had scored that penalty, they're 1-0 up. But there's a long time to go. You can't look back on it and say, oh, if Brighton had scored that penalty, they would have won. Leicester would have gone on the front foot. Brighton would have defended more. Maybe Leicester would have had an equaliser and a winner by now. Yellow card. Decent free kick position. Duffy fouling. I think he went through the back of Maddison there. So Maddison will probably take this. FA Cup should have carried on after the Premier League is done, says Sean Turner. Yeah, I don't like the... I agree with you, Sean. I don't like the FA Cup. I don't like how the FA Cup's at the weekend. These free kicks always look a lot closer. Chance for Maddison to shine here. He's had a very bad game. But it's perfect, the position of this free kick. To the left of the quadrant. On his right foot. Up and over. I'd score this on FIFA. It's one of those. Over the bar. Not a bad technique, but over the bar. Not his game. And Adam Noon says that Maddison will go to Liverpool. Well, on this performance, you can have him, mate. You can have him. He's been atrocious today. You know, people like Grealish get their stick, but I think he's been really, really bad today. Mark, can you admit now that Leno is better than David De Gea, says Dav3FC? No, because I think when you look at the stats this season, Leno's made as many errors as that of De Gea. I've seen Leno make some mistakes this season. Chelsea was a big game where he did it. I think they're both good keepers. David Luiz, new contract sorted. Banter, says Nick P. Serious. We're into the last 10 minutes of this game now. 10 minutes. Come on. Hold it out, Brighton. Glenn Murray's coming on for Connolly. Thanks everyone for watching on both platforms. Make sure you follow us on Hot Mic if you're on there, and make sure you subscribe if you're new on YouTube. I'll be back playing FIFA tomorrow on this channel at 2:30. Tomorrow night's obviously on the United stand, watch along for Sheffield United. And then Thursday got 2 games, 6 o'clock Southampton beating Arsenal, and then 8 o'clock Man City beating Chelsea. Well, I'm sure that won't happen, but I hope it is going to happen. 82 minutes here. Leicester looking to get a late goal again. Not been impressive. I don't think they were very good against Watford either, but they got the late goal, didn't they? Mark, can Murray win it at the end, says Dr. Singh. I hope so. Moy with the slide rule pass, but it's just not going to work, because that's the great thing about Sionko. He's not only... You know, Johnny Evans doesn't necessarily have the pace, but Sionko does. Duffy could have been sent off there, you know. That foul I think would have been a yellow card normally, and he's just had one. Tillerman's switching the play out to the right. So Justin. Seven minutes left, says Illa United. This would be this is what I mean. I'm not going to get too excited, but if this would be massive for Manchester United if Leicester dropped points. But I said this at the weekend, and Chilwell scored a banger. And I know Watford got a late equaliser, but anything can happen in these last few minutes. Ehab on Hot Mic says that Scott McTominay's better than all of Arsenal's midfielders. Well, I wouldn't disagree with you, because Arsenal's midfield just doesn't perform, does it? Big flag covering seats at United tomorrow, saying football is nothing without the fans. Bit of a strange flag in my opinion, but true, says Sean Turner. And Mark, do you think Sionku is better than Maguire, says Dav3FC? Well, we spoke about this in the first half. If anybody thinks Sionku is better than Harry Maguire, I can totally understand why you'd say that. But obviously, as a United fan, I'm going to be loyal to my captain and say that I think Harry Maguire is better. But I can see why people are saying it. A tired tackle by Lamptey there on Barnes. And it's a chance for Leicester to loft one into the box, which they haven't done. They've got the ball moving quicker. Chilwell. See, Leicester starting to do what they did against Watford now. These last sort of 10 minutes, they're pushing higher up the pitch, trying to get the winner, which they've not done for most of the game. It's obviously a tactic. If Leicester draw, United will tank with a D as well, says Josh Sutton. Well, that's happened a lot this season with United. Every time Chelsea opened the door, we would replicate their result. Maddison goes wide to Chilwell, who can whip one in. Cleared by Brighton. And Diddy are starting to camp themselves on the edge of the Leicester box now. Brighton are giving a little bit too much space up for my liking. Maddison went for a clever pass, didn't work. Murray, crap pass. Murray's only just come on and he looks like he's been playing for 4 hours. Slow. This is the thing though, teams like Brighton, they just don't have the depth that good defensive header that is by Dunk. Fantastic header by Dunk. They just don't have the depth, do they, teams like Brighton, that Leicester do. So, when it gets to like the 70th minute mark and you're having to bring people like Glenn Murray on, and Leicester have got people like Perez and Barnes who can come on, the game shifts and it's all Leicester now. Corner to Leicester. Maddison cleared well by Brighton. Very big header. Comes to Telemans on the edge of the box. Goes off Perez. Goal kick. That'll kill up a couple of minutes. How's Vardy playing, says Michael Duffy. Crap. He's just had... In fairness though, people will say Vardy's been crap today, but it's the same people who will say Martial's been crap today. And this is a whole big example. I mean, Vardy... I'm going to tweet it as well. It's just very limited service. That's what it is. How many chances has Vardy had today? How many decent balls has he had? Really enjoy the watch-alongs, Mark. The commentary in the US is atrocious, says TJ Heed. Thanks for the super chat, mate. Appreciate that. We are going to be live on the United Stand at 8 o'clock. So 10 minutes time. Straight after this, I'm closing down and going live on the United Stand. So quite a lot to talk about, actually. Some of it around Arta. I think the connotations of that Arta transfer to Juventus is actually massive for Manchester United on various levels. So we'll be talking about that, and obviously a very, very big game tomorrow, which could be a massive game tomorrow if this result stays the same. We're into the last 2 minutes. Hopefully there won't be many minutes added on. Nearly 300 watching on Hot Mic. Thanks everyone who's given it a go. We'll be using it again on Thursday. Sionku is so overrated. He only looks decent because he has Ndidi in front of him mopping everything up, says Sassy. Nah, I don't agree with that. He's got a good pace. He's good on the ball. He's very good in the air. He positions himself well. I think he's a good centre back, and I think as I said, I think if I was Liverpool, I mean, look, Leicester. The trouble with Leicester is, as we saw with Harry Maguire, they don't sell cheap, so no one's going to buy Sionku, but he'd do very well in Serie A, and he'd do very well for someone like Liverpool. I mean, look at that, the way he's won that back. And, really, Trossard should be keeping hold of that. Brighton keeping hold of the ball here. Minutes are going very slow now. ...89 minutes. I'm getting bloody nervous. Lingard as a false 9, says Vandy Candy. He's similar to Vardy and a better presser. Goal kick, Leicester. In Spurs versus West Ham going to be a boring match, says Salah Ahmed. Mate, I'm not there to tell you. It kicks off at 8:15. If you want to watch Spurs versus West Ham, it's a free life. But I didn't want to do a watch-along for it. And I didn't want to do a watch-along for Man City Burnley. So read into that what you like. I just thought with Spurs and West Ham, it was a bit like Man City and Burnley. Burnley aren't in a relegation battle, and Man City are going to finish second. So for me, it's just watching football. I want to watch football with something on it. Like tonight, Leicester, they're fighting for top 4. Brighton are fighting for survival. Interesting game. West Ham fighting for survival. What are Spurs fighting for? And they're not even a good team to watch. So I just didn't want to do it. And I wanted to do United stand because there's a lot to talk about. So I'll do United stand and we'll go from there. Only 3 minutes being added on here. Watch Leicester score now with 3 minutes to go. They're on the attack. Here we go. Barnes to Tillemans to Barnes, edge of the box. Cross to the back post. Cleared for a corner. You know what's coming. You know what's coming. Ethan says, big up the community on Hot Mic, better than YouTube. Well, I don't want any of those wars. Mark, do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a better manager than Arteta, says Dav3FC? Well, he is at the moment because Arteta's not proving anything at the moment, is he? He's got to be given the time that Solskjaer's been given. He's got to be given the money as well. Cross comes in from the corner. Johnny Evans doesn't win it. Trossard, Justin. Maddison's going to whip it. They want a penalty, Leicester. They might get a penalty, VAR might review that. No, I don't think that would be a penalty on Dunk. He's been given a shove, hasn't he? God, heart in mouth. I thought they were going to VAR that. Just get on with the kick, goalkeeper. Get on with the bloody kick before they have time. Heart in mouth. It's not. I tell you what. Think about the PSG thing though. Think about the PSG penalty that we got. His arms were up in the air, and so were Dunk's there. Brighton, just keep hold of the bloody ball. Keep hold of the ball. That's gone for a throw in. Ref, come on, 4 seconds. Yes! Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! Leicester dropped 2 points again to a team I didn't predict they would predict 2 points to. Massive for Chelsea, massive for Wolves, massive for Manchester United. That's a massive, massive 2 points dropped. Massive 2 points dropped by Leicester. And it's on. If we win tomorrow, we're 6 points behind them. Oh, yes. Have some of that. Have some of that. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. You know what? If Chelsea beat Man City, they're 1 point behind them as well. So, absolutely massive that. I know 0-0's not a very interesting game to watch, but thanks to 7,000 people for tuning in. But that's massive. Massive for United. Massive for Chelsea and massive for Wolves. Leicester have dropped 4 points in their first 2 games. They've still got Everton away, Arsenal away, Spurs away, United and Sheffield United to come. United, if we beat if we beat Sheffield United tomorrow, we're 6 points behind Leicester. We've got to play Leicester. That's 3 points if we beat them. We're 3 points behind them. Massive. Absolutely massive. It's on. It's absolutely on. So, I tell you what, this Premier League fight for top 4. I said it before football came back. We can catch Leicester. Screenshot the tweets and everything. Anyway, I'll be picking this story up literally in 5 minutes. I'm going to be live on the United Stand, so I'll be carrying on with this chat on there. So, United Stand, I'm going to be live in like 3 or 4 minutes time. I'll see you on there. Thanks everyone for tuning in on here and on Hot Mic. Please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Hot Mic, and we're going to be live on the United Stand in about 5 minutes. I'll see you in a mo. Thanks for watching.